good, everybody? So, there has been some major developments that are happening for 3.0. Wuthering Waves is doing the unthinkable. They're adding another combat mechanic. Oh my god! Shock, horror, delight, who knows how we should be feeling, but they are adding tunability into the game. Now, before we get too deep into it, apparently tunability is something we can experience right now in the game if we do the tactical simulacra off tune. So, we're going to be reading through what tunability is all about from the patch notes, whatever that they've given, and then we're going to try it out in the event and see how we think and feel. Tunability is a whole new thing that they're introducing. So here we go. A new combat mechanism will be introduced in version 3.0 tunability. We have off-tune level and miss-tune. So the way that it works is your resonators will build up. So you do attacks and your attacks will build up an off-tune level on the enemy. And we can see that right here, okay, by this shield indicator. The more that you do attacks, the more that builds up this off-tune. Once enemy's off-tune level is at max, they enter miss-tuned state. So now you've maxed out your off tune, they're in a mistune state, and then you can attack the during this mistune state, and enemies will cause tune break, which deals additional damage and resets the off tune level. So essentially, ZZZ anomaly waves is it feels kind of similar, right? You deal a certain damage type, right? This like off tune level is a certain type of damage, right? You break it, and then you are able to deal more damage when they are in a certain state, okay? And it seems like we have Yang Yang here. Everyone is going to be able to utilize tunability to some degree, okay? Then we have the tune break skill. For powerful enemies, cast tune break skill after they enter mistune state and when their off tune level is maxed to shatter their defenses and cause tune break. We essentially get finishers. So for big powerful enemies, once you max out their off tune and they're in mistune, we get finishers in Wuthering Waves, which is something they had in the beta of WUA. When you remember when you fight Crownless, like during the beta, you were able to do finishes. They have brought that back into Wuthering Waves in 3.0, which is something people have wanted. Like, where did the finishes go? They were really, really cool and they looked awesome. And they're like, ha, here you go, 3.0. It's all about the combat. It really feels like they're focusing a lot more on the combat They've upgraded the negative statuses, and now they're adding in more combat mechanics to WUA. It seems like they're really locking in on how they want their gameplay to be in 3.0, which makes me very, very excited, but also kind of scared, and we'll get into that in a little bit. Tune break skill deals damage to enemies, reduces their vibration strength, interrupts their attack patterns, and resets their off tune level. So we want to be doing this as much as possible, and the fact that every character can, I assume, do this means that it's a W and everyone's going to be able to deal more damage because of it, which is great. And I think this is good. This has the potential to be extremely fun and a well-welcomed mechanic into the game. I want to get that out there. Like, I think this is going to be something that could be potentially very cool and very awesome. But also we have the other side of this where it could be a slippery slope. As we all know with gachas, a lot of the times they introduce new mechanics or stuff into the game, and then they make characters based around those mechanics that have an easier time doing it. Like we've all seen the cycle, right? ZZZ, anomaly, miasmas, super breaks with your Honkai Stars and follow. We've always seen time after time when a new combat mechanic is introduced, characters alongside it will come out that are kind of more suited to dealing with them at some point. But I think the mere fact that everybody's able to utilize this to some degree, I think is a W, and people will very, very much appreciate the finishes, right? And so long as, like, if every enemy has the same kind of like HP pool they do now, and this simply allows characters to deal more damage, we're raising the damage of everyone overall, I think this is nothing but a W. I think this is nothing but a W, and I think just on the surface level, this looks really goddamn cool. But again, like any new mechanic that gets added into a gacha, can have the potential to be abused or not utilized enough. Okay, it's not outside of Kuro's like known being to kind of introduce things and not really expand upon them until later. It took us a whole of 2.0 to get like negative statuses changed up and reintroduced and kind of made decent. Like we only had like error erosion and Zanny's Spectra. You know what I mean? So we don't know how much this is going to be utilized, but this looks kind of cool. Dungeon mains revitalized. Yeah, no, totally. Imagine if the motorcycle girl throws the motorcycle and insta off-tune breaks enemies aware. But listen, we don't know. We don't know how much damage tune breaks are going to be doing, how much these skills are going to do. We have no idea, okay? We absolutely have no idea. So we will just have to wait and see what it's like. But I want to try it out myself with the actual event and see how it is. So we're going to do that. But yeah, like I'm going to deal with it. Sorry for being a hater, but it just sounds cool but doesn't seem like much depth to it. I have a feeling it has the potential to add more depth than we realize, right? The new way that you have to approach enemies, maybe it stops you from doing like certain rotations, and you might have to switch things up because when are you going to mistune them? Can you use it to your advantage to deal damage when they're like vibration strength when you've broken it? Like it gives you more options, I feel, potentially, of how you might want to approach certain things. Like it like second break bar, it does kind of feel like a second break bar, but it depends. Like as long as the damage that we are dealing to the enemy isn't lower because they're not like mistuned, that's gonna be interesting. Like, are the enemies gonna be taking less damage when then, like, that's the real kicker. Like, is everyone gonna feel weaker until they're mistuned? Like, that's really what is gonna be a thing for a lot of people, right? So let's go try out this event. Let's try it out. Combat enhancement. Resonated in the team gave 50% off tune level efficiency increase. Let's just add you. Oh wait, hold up. You, and you. Some of your attacks build up certain enemies' off-tune level. Once their off-tune level reaches the limit, they enter the mistuned state. During this state, you can unleash a powerful tune break to shatter their defenses. Landing a tune break resets the enemy's off-tune level and inflicts tune disruption, leaving them vulnerable to follow-up attacks. Oh, okay. Inflicts tune disruption, leaving them vulnerable to follow-up attacks. Okay, so everyone can get a bit more damage in. Interesting. Okay. When an enemy uses a special skill, a red ring will appear as a warning. If you successfully dodge or counter the attack, the enemy will immediately enter the mistune state. Attack enemies with a tune break in this state will not reset the off-tune level. They haven't put this into the base game. That wasn't on the notes, but yeah. Yeah. Appear as a warning. If you successfully dodge or counter this attack. Okay. Let's take a look. I'm gonna do this slowly. I'm doing this slowly.
A miscalculation.
Because I wanna see what's up.
Meet your end. Exile in a blast. Structural collapse. Cutting through the numbers. Thanks for watching.
Okay.
Ta-da! A grand overture. Solo time.
Okay. Haven't mistuned yet. Haven't mistuned yet. Okay, 2 Cardothea. F! Alright, there we go.
Divine envoy there.
Whoa! Okay. We did the attack. We did the finisher thing.
Such is their blessing.
We did one like mistune. You have to play it slow and dodge to receive the mechanics. Yeah. Alright, let's keep going. Resonated team. Okay, we'll just do the same 2 buffs. Okay.
Breakpoint lock. Come. Meet your end. The blink.
Oh, immediately.
To pieces. Exile in a now presenting a poem of finale. Perish.
And mistuned again.
A divine.
There we go. Whoa! Big attack.
Be gone.
So it's essentially a finisher.
Oceans.
It's essentially like just like a big dick damage kind of move.
Atonement.
It doesn't seem like it's too distracting from like the normal gameplay. Is the new mechanic anything good or just some bullshit? Honestly, it really just feels like it did no damage. Let's see again. Let's see how much damage the finisher does.
Deconstructed.
Okay. This time we'll pay attention to how much. Okay, hold up. Okay. Okay. You know what? Yeah, it did nothing. I feel that this would only matter. I feel like this only matters if like tunability is going to provide some kind of like significance. Right? Like, I don't know if people are really going to be switching out rotations like that. It really depends like how much of a difference like breaking and the tunability is. Yeah, but it's a slippery slope nonetheless. Like, it has the potential to be a lot, right? It has the potential to be like, oh, like enemies have to be mistuned in order to deal damage to them, or like they have naturally high defenses and you have to like make sure they're mistuned before like you attack them, or like there's a slippery slope for anything, right? But right now, I don't see a reason for it to be like concerning. Okay.
Let the show begin.
Okay. So we could just keep her here indefinitely.
Such is the ocean.
That's kind of crazy.
Bow before me. Atonement.
So you can like kind of use it.
Sounding the death knell. Windstorm. Sweep all away.
So like you could actually use this as like a buffer, like between like breaking people or not.
Lifeline blocked. Dismantle. Come, meet your end. In the blink of an eye.
You could you could use it as an interrupt. You could essentially use it as an interrupt.
Severed. Flicker into form. Thanks for watching. A perfect listen. The trio of destiny. Perish. If it's a duel you want. Cabinetz, descend. Such is repent. For silence beckons. Exonerate. Rise and my blade. Purge all evil.
Yeah, pressing F, you do the mistune skill. Pressing F, you do the mistune skill, where like it does more damage and stuff.
Nothingness. Deconstructed.
And then they enter mistune state. You see the shield at the top right? That's the off tune level. Once you've maxed out the off tune, they go mistuned. And then you do the skill, like that's what the F is.
Flicker into form.
That's what the F is. Like now, it's indefinitely there. And now he's mistuned, and it will just be there forever. Until I press it. And it will just deal damage. When I'm in range, I assume. That's kind of cool. That it is just here for like however long. How do you play Chikona? Oh, the Russian stop out. She says you just stand there after I ult her. Well, yeah, because like she does off-field damage, bro. You're meant to switch out when you use her ult. You do everything and then you switch out because she's meant to stand there and buff and provide buffs to Carthia. Okay, it's gone away now. Wait, where is it? Okay, no, it's back. Okay. Ow. 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 Ow.
Structural integrity intact.
Okay.
Carry on.
Come here. Come here, boy.
In the blink of an eye.
There we go. I have a feeling... Does it need stamina proximity to a pit? It seems so. It seems to interrupt. Okay, that's the impression I'm getting. It seems to... It freezes the enemy and interrupts whatever they're doing. And it's indefinite. So you can I feel, switch to the character that's probably going... Like, I wonder if it scales based on character too. Like, will it scale based on character? Like, you could swap to the character that might deal the most damage out of it. Or maybe it's consistently the same damage for it doesn't matter who does it. It's just the same amount of damage. That's going to be interesting to find out. But I think because there are buffs associated with this event, it's hard to like see like damage wise anything about it. So we're really going to be in the dark until 3.0 when it comes to damage numbers, because we have no idea really of a true value here. I doubt this state will be permanent outside the event, otherwise it is just broken. Did you thought they're adding this to the base game? Brother, that's why we're talking about it. They're adding this into the game. they're literally adding this into the base game. This might be very useful to stunning bosses just before. The state just remains indefinitely. I don't see why it wouldn't. It doesn't say that there's like a timer or a time limit for it. Is max to shatter their defenses and cause tune break. Like that's... Attacking mistuned state enemies will cause tune break, which deals additional damage. Oh, I think this is only going to apply for big enemies. For small enemies, you can't use it as an interrupt or anything like that. You will just tune break it straight away. So for small enemies like ads and stuff, like it will just happen automatically. You can't control when it happens. But for big enemies and bosses, you will be able to dictate like when you break or not. Yeah, elite and higher. That seems to be how this is going to work. Which is fine, because I don't think with small enemies it's really going to matter that much, you know. I don't think it's going to matter that much. So yeah. Cast tune break skill after they enter mistune state when the off tune level is max to shatter. I think this is going to be a cool addition. I don't think this is going to change the combat in any like significant way. I think it adds more for Kuro games to like play with in terms of combat design and the mechanics and what they want to achieve out of it. They could probably do some things with it, but only time will tell if that's going to be positive or negative for player experiences. But inherently, this existing is not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing, and it adds something. It adds something different. It adds for more things for people to do. So, I'm a fan until I get proven otherwise, and I'm a fan until we find out it sucks. Okay, if it ends up coming out in 3.0 and it ends up like sucking massive PP, then yeah, we can do post about it. But right now, this just existing, I don't see as being like a thing that's terrible. This isn't like a huge mega thing, which is probably why it's like buried in this, like the fact that it's like buried in this like infographic comprehensive. This is buried in the comprehensive mirror for historians. Like, it's buried in this. So like the fact that it's buried in a fucking history lore drop rather than being its own thing, I don't think it's going to be this huge overwhelming thing to the game, honestly. That's how I feel. So I'm gonna wait for 3.0 to see, because clearly Woolworth's not pushing this massively. They've buried it in here, but we'll see. We'll see how it is. So that's what I feel. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I appreciate y'all, and I see you guys on the next one. Peace.
Twitch.tv/Captain Cabinetz, Captain Cabinetz.